Hello, I'm Jeanette with Amazing Paper Crafts, and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. And I'm here in Northwest Indiana in my newly reorganized craft room. And I gotta tell you, nothing sparks joy for a crafter than to have a place for everything and everything in its place, right? But you also want to have a place to grow, and that's what I've been given by my husband. So I want to shout out to my husband. Thank you so much for helping me reorganize this crazy craft room with all of my crazy crafts. But anyway, today I'm bringing you another video tutorial, and today I am going to show you how I made this card. It is a thank you card. Okay, and today I'm going to be using some of the things that I got for free during the celebrations. Now we know celebrations ended on March 31st, but there are some items that are still available to purchase if you didn't take advantage of the freebies that you got during celebrations. So anyway, if you want to learn how I made this card, stay tuned. So to begin, the first thing you'll want to do is to rough cut your design from that beautiful or delightfully detailed laser cut specialty paper that's on page 189 of the annual catalog. And if you can see this, you get a few sheets. I think you'll get 4 sheets of each of these designs here, and you want to cut them out roughly, or even as evenly as you can. And there's some really beautiful shapes and designs and little borders, and it's just a wonderful paper. You're going to absolutely love it. So what I did is I rough cut this little oval design here, and I am going to be using the rectangle stitched framelit dies to make this a frame with a stitched edge. And the one that I used, if I can take this out of here, I believe it was the second to the largest, but I could be wrong. Yes, it was the second to the largest that I used for my card. Okay, and just center it the best you can, and then take it to the big shot, and then what you're going to get is I don't know if you can see the stitches on there. Okay, you're going to get this stitched cut oval shape, and then you're going to take the larger of the rectangle dies, and you're going to take a piece of fresh fig. If I can get this out of here, over here. Okay. You're going to take a piece of fresh fig. Now this piece measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm just going to go ahead and when I take that through the big shot, then I get this piece here, which now layers perfectly under there. But what about your designer series paper? You'll want your designer series paper to be the exact same size as your white sheet, because you're going to be taping that on top. So you'll take your designer series paper, and you're going to be placing in a nice little area wherever you decide that's going to look best. Place that, and then take that to the big shot. And so what you're going to get is a piece that is exactly the same size as the white piece here, and then you're going to attach these together, and that's what I'm going to do right now. But let me get out my silicone craft sheet here. Okay, and then I'm going to just very carefully, with my snail adhesive, and about these little designer sheets here, you can use this with very vanilla too. It's wonderful. I just absolutely love these, and I wish I would have gotten them sooner. I don't know what made me hold off. Probably because I have so many dies. But no die that will do this. And this is just absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to just match the corners the best I can. You could also do this with multi-purpose glue. Okay, and now you're going to layer this piece here on top of that. So that I will use multi-purpose liquid glue because I want to make sure I have equal borders. So I have my multi-purpose glue in this little holder I made for myself. I've got some of these little glass globs in here, and this is one of our acetate boxes, and I just cut like a square hole, and for weight I use the glass globs, and this makes a perfect holder. And this is like I think it's a 1 1/4 inch square, I forget, but anyway, it just works really good. I can put this anywhere and take this along with me. And I know that my glue is upside down, always ready to use. So you might want to try something like that. Okay, let me just put these away so I can get them out of my way. And we are going to go ahead and glue this before our glue dries. And I want to make sure that I am giving it a perfect border all the way around. And with that glue, I get a little bit of wiggle room. Okay, starting to look really pretty. Okay, and now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my card base. And the card base is a little bit smaller than a regular A2 card base. What I did is I cut my cardstock down to 8 inches. Okay, this is the 8 inches here. And then I cut it to 5 3/8 of an inch. And that way I can have a perfect border for the stitch dies here. See that? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use multi-purpose glue so I can make sure my border is perfect. Yep. I love this glue. It is a wonderful glue. I love that it dries clear. Okay, now you see that I am making this border perfect all the way around, or as perfect as I can make it. We'll have to take care of that little fuzzy thing right there. Okay. Anyway, isn't that pretty by itself? But we're going to add some flowers from the beautiful Promenade bundle. This is such a beautiful, beautiful set. I love this flower here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some fresh fig ink, and I'm going to stamp both of these on top of each other because this is like a 2-step stamp set. In fact, it even says that, 2-step. So, and we're going to also stamp some leaves. So let me get out some Whisper White cardstock, just a little piece here, and I have it already on my block. And I'm going to use some fresh fig. Okay, and now I'm going to bring out, because this is a photopolymer stamp, I'm going to go ahead and bring out my my little, oh, what is this thing called? Piercing mat, thank you. My memory. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and ink that up and stamp it. Just going to make sure that this is fully coated with the ink. Okay. There it is. Now it's a little bit light, but I'm not going to really use this one. I'm going to, I've already got this cut just for speed. But when I stamp over it, it's easy to line this up. You could even use your Stamparatus if you want to, but it is easy to line this up over the stamp, but I'm going to probably have my head in the way. Let's see. It might not be perfect, but that's really nice, actually. I don't always get it perfectly straight, but that's not too bad. And then you're going to take the die, which it does cut out a die. I mean, it does, open it this way. It does have a die that cuts out the frame. And you're going to take that to the Big Shot. And once you got that done, and I think I probably dropped it, this is what it's going to look like after you take that to the Big Shot. So now I have that part done. let me put this back. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut, you want to cut a couple of these little leaves with some Mossy Meadow cardstock, okay? And I've got those done already, okay? And I'm also going to stamp on some Whisper White cardstock with this leaf here, and I'm going to be using Mossy Meadow for that. Put that away here. Okay, we will stamp this here in the corner here, and we would take the die I'm sorry. This is what you're going to get when you die cut that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so let me put this one away. Because, boy, these dies can really, really get out of hand if you don't keep up with them. I'm telling you. Okay, let's put this away. I think I'm missing a die in here, but I will... Oh, there it is right here. See? See? Put it away. Okay, we're going to get that put away. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is also work on the sentiment, which I'm going to be using a sentiment from the Humming Along, and I want this thank you here, but I also want to cut it out with the die. There's a beautiful die that does a beautiful label, and that's this die right here. If I can get this out. Okay. This die right here. That's what I'm going to do. And so I will stamp this. I've got this already. Now this stamp here is one of those cling stamps, and it really, really does cling to your block. And I do love those, but you have to be really, really careful when you're pulling them off that you don't rip the rubber. Okay, I just want to advise you that when you're using your cling stamps, they're very sticky, but it's a good thing. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit catty corner so I can fit that die. Okay, and there is my thank you. And we're going to take this to the die cutting machine, my Big Shot, and then we will end up with this little tag. See, I already did that. So just to save a little time, although I don't know how much time I'm saving by preparing everything ahead of time. But let's put this one back in our set, and we're going to put that one away. Okay. Okay, so let's proceed to get this thing all together. Let's move this aside. Okay, we have our card base here. All right, we have our leaves. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of my multi-purpose liquid glue. And I'm going to put a little bit on the stem here of the part of the little thing that I stamped. And what I want to do, I probably should put a little bit of glue to hold this down too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right in the corner here. Okay, and I think what I'm going to also do is put just a little bit of glue to hold this down. I didn't put enough of the snail adhesive to hold this down, but it'll be okay. I'll do better next time. Now we're going to take this and we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. Let's get some dimensionals here. I'm going to put 2 or 3. I think maybe 3 will help. 1, 2, and 3. And let's remove the backer sheets of the dimensionals. And now I'm going to put this, whoops, in the corner here, just barely covering that leaf. All right. And now I'm going to take those two that I cut, these two little die cuts, and I'm going to put one on either side. And I'll do that also with some multi-purpose liquid glue. And just tuck these under like that. Okay, and now it's time to put our sentiment on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put it on put dimensionals on it to raise it up, but it's just going to tuck under. Oops. The one side is going to tuck under the flower because I want to get it like super centered. Now I have a little trick for centering things using my Stamparatus. So you got your Stamparatus here, and of course we use it for stamping, but what I like to do is I like to use it for centering things. So you're going to take your magnet, I think I got the magnet under here, and hold this down. Okay, we'll hold that down. And now I know that this measures 8 inches across. This here should measure 8 inches, although I think it's a little bit short. But I want to just make sure that I am centering this on the pad. And so these little points are going to go in the center. Oh, I got these. Yeah, I got to make sure I take these off. See this center line right here? I'm going to make sure that I have this centered, and right in here, if I center this, I have a line that I can go by, but mostly I'm just concerned about getting it centered. Okay, and also it helps when I use these little points here on that little lace design too. So I wanted that to tuck underneath. Let's just tuck that underneath. Okay, there we go. And the last thing I want to do with this card is put a little bow on here. Now, I couldn't really decide whether I wanted the bow with the ruffled edge on here. It looked kind of big. So we also have this sheer ribbon. It's only 1/8 of an inch thick. And it also is in fresh fig. And so I decided to try both to see which one would look better right here, and I think the smaller one does. So I'm going to take some, if I could find my glue dots, I'm going to take a glue dot. Found my glue dots. Okay, and I'm going to put a glue dot right here to put the bow right there. And now my card is done. Now I can add some Wink of Stella and some jewels to dress it up. But pretty much you get the picture of how to put a card like this together with this beautiful designer series paper that I got for free during Sale-A-Brations, and also the detailed designer series paper, the delightfully detailed laser cut specialty paper. And you'll get a lot of designs with that. And don't forget, they're two-sided. You can use the very vanilla side, or you can use the Whisper White side. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you will try this with your supplies that you got free. But the good thing is that you can still buy these until the catalog is retired. And I think that isn't until June. Well, probably June 1st, but I'll make sure I post the right date in my blog, okay? So all the supplies are going to be listed underneath this video. So if you want to order anything, please order from me. I'll be your demonstrator if you don't already have one. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so that next time I put up a video, you'll be the first to know. So once again, I'm Jeanette with Geo Amazing Paper Crafts, and you make it a great day. Bye-bye.